Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. I am Suffi and today I'm here with another video tutorial for biology class 7, and the topic name is environmental impact rating. In our previous lesson we learned about different earlier machines like steam engine, windmill, water mill. Out of these past time machines, windmill and water mill were environmental friendly. They were not using any fuels. They were either using wind or water. So they were completely environmental friendly. But with the invention of a steam engine, it was using fuel. In the beginning, it was using wood. Wood was burned to boil the water and get steam from that. But later on, different fossil fuels were used. Now the problem with the fossil fuels is that when we burn a fossil fuel, it emits different gases which are harmful for the environment, like carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide. These gases put a negative impact on the environment. So in today's lesson, we will learn the environmental impact of different machines and how we give the rating to different machines on the basis of emissions of different gases. Throughout the lesson, instead of using the full word environmental impact rating, I will use the short EIR. E stands for environmental, I for impact, and R for rating. Here on the screen you can see the gases that are produced by burning the fossil fuels. Fossil fuels, the example of the fossil fuel we have already taken in our previous class in grade 6, grade 5 as well. Fossil fuels like coal, oil, and natural gas, they are termed as fossil fuels. So when fossil fuels are burned, they release different gases in the air. Main gas is carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. When we burn fossil fuel, the main gas released is carbon dioxide. If we compare the quantity of other gases like sulfur dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide, they are in too less quantity as compared to carbon dioxide. So while defining environmental impact rating, we will use main gas carbon dioxide. But it doesn't mean that the other gases don't impact the environment. They also impact the environment, and when in the coming lessons we will discuss the environmental impact rating of the particular machines or particular activity. So we will also consider these gases like sulfur dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxides. Let's define environmental impact rating now. The environmental impact rating is measure of a home's impact on the environment in terms of carbon dioxide emission. To understand the definition, the first thing that you need to understand is a home's impact. Here, when we will use the term a home's impact, it might be any activity, it might be any machine for which is actually affecting the environment. So in different cases, it will be different. Like if we are studying the environmental impact rating (EIR) for a steam engine, so that is the home at that time. That is the object under consideration whose effect on the environment we are studying. So how much carbon dioxide that gas will release, that particular machine will release, that that is called its environmental impact rating. So if the rating is less, it means the higher the rating, the less impact it has on the environment. It means if we say that EIR of a machine is high, so it means it is having the less impact on the environment. It means it is releasing less carbon dioxide and other harmful gases in the environment. Now, environmental impact rating is different for different activities or machines, and it will not be same for all activities. We can say an EIR, a positive EIR. EIR again, as I termed in the beginning of the lesson, that I will use instead of full word environmental impact rating. mostly I will use the word EIR. In E for environment, I for impact, R for rating. So for some activity, EIR can be positive. For some activities, EIR can be negative, and for some activities, EIR can be neutral. So when we will discuss further about any machine, so these three words, positive EIR, negative EIR, or neutral EIR, will be used too much. And there are certain rules for each type of EIR. For example, if an activity influences the environment in a good way, mean putting a positive impact on the environment, instead of creating bad effects on the environment, it is making the environment better. So such activity we will say is having a positive EIR, or we will say it is putting a positive environmental impact on the environment. If an activity affect the environment in a bad way, it means that activity will release more carbon dioxide. So we will say EIR is negative. And if an activity affect the environment, mean there is no effect on the environment, then we will say EIR is negative. And it don't put any positive effect, it don't put any negative effect, so such activity will be neutral. So there are rare activities which are neutral. Most of the activities affect the environment either in a good way or in a bad way. No, even in the negative EIR activities, some activities put less negative impact on the environment. Some activities or machine put more negative effect on the environment. Here are the rules for environmental impact rating EIR. When it will we will declare it positive, when we will declare it negative, or when we will declare it neutral. If an activity influence the environment in a good way, mean putting a good effect on the environment, improving the environment instead of making it worse, or reducing the pollution of the environment, reducing the emission of carbon dioxide in the environment, then such activity will have the positive EIR. If an activity affects the environment in bad way, mean releasing more carbon dioxide, releasing uh, more sulfur dioxide or such gases, so the EIR is negative. And if an activity don't influence the environment, mean not bringing any change, such activity will be having a neutral EIR. Here right now on the screen you can see a windmill which use the power of wind to work, not using any fossil fuels. So what do you think will be the EIR of this machine? Positive EIR, negative EIR, or neutral EIR? In the same way, let's move to this diagram. A factory emitting a lot of fuel, using a lot of fuel, fossil fuels, and then emitting smoke. And keeping in mind your previous knowledge, think for a while. What do you think? What will be EIR of this activity? So these things actually we will discuss in our next lesson, the EIR of different machines, of different activities. So you just need to go through that inshallah in our coming lesson. In next lesson, we will discuss the environmental impact rating of different activities and the reason for that. Thank you. Goodbye.